For 5 years, we built a life together that felt seamless. Like a puzzle where every piece fit perfectly. People saw us as the ideal couple. We laughed at the same ridiculous things, finished each other's thoughts without effort, and made detailed plans for our future, right down to the color of our future kitchen walls. I trusted her completely. I never questioned her loyalty because it felt as solid as my own. So when I proposed and she said yes with tears in her eyes, I believed it was the beginning of something unshakable. But beneath the surface, something had started to change. I didn't notice it right away. About 2 months before our wedding, I picked up on tiny differences. How she would drift into silence for no reason, how her phone rarely left her hand, and how she'd spend extra time getting ready, even for the simplest outings. I chalked it up to pre-wedding excitement, maybe anxiety. It never crossed my mind that she might be hiding something. I pushed my doubts aside, feeling guilty for even having them. The day we got married felt magical. We were surrounded by friends and family under an open sky strung with soft lights. We danced together like we were the only 2 people in the world. As she walked toward me down the aisle, glowing with joy, I felt like the luckiest man alive. I had no idea that behind that smile was a truth I wasn't ready for. 3 months later, that truth came out. I was looking through her iPad for some vacation pictures when I stumbled on an old group chat. She had recently changed the password to her phone, which I hadn't thought much of at the time. But this message thread had been left open. One conversation, in particular, froze me in place. It was dated 2 weeks before our wedding. Her friends were talking about a night out during her bachelorette party. They kept urging her to tell me the truth, referencing her spending the night with someone, Roswell, a coworker. She kept brushing it off, blaming stress and alcohol. It didn't mean anything, she said. I can't destroy everything now. Those words cut deep. My world cracked open with each sentence. The trust one had held sacred was gone. But I didn't react right away. For a full week, I pretended everything was fine, while inside, I was coming apart. I kept remembering our wedding. The vows, the celebration. The smile on her face that now seemed like a mask. When I finally asked her about it, she knew something was wrong. I didn't yell. I simply asked her to be honest. She denied it at first, claiming I misunderstood. Then I showed her the screenshots. That's when everything crumbled. Her face twisted in panic, then sorrow. She sobbed and begged for forgiveness. She insisted it was a single, terrible mistake, fueled by too much alcohol and a moment of weakness she deeply regretted. But it didn't matter. Some lines, once crossed, can't be erased. I couldn't rebuild trust on shattered ground. That night, I packed a bag and left. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't stay in the space we had filled with so many lies. She tried to reach me constantly. Calls, texts, long messages promising to fix things. I stayed silent, needing time to understand what I was feeling. After 2 weeks, we met one last time. I told her I still loved the person I believed she was, but that person wasn't real. I couldn't build a future based on a fantasy. She cried and pleaded, mentioned therapy, made promises of honesty and change. But the damage was done. 6 months later, the divorce was finalized. It was quiet, without confrontation or blame. Just paperwork and parting ways. Our friends were stunned. No one could make sense of how such a perfect relationship had ended so suddenly. I never told them what happened. I didn't want to ruin her reputation, and I didn't want to carry that bitterness any longer. A year has passed. I'm healing. Still tired, still learning, but growing stronger. What I've come to understand is that betrayal doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers through the smallest cracks. And the worst part isn't the act itself. It's realizing the person you gave your whole heart to didn't guard it the way you would have guarded theirs.